Salve, we are doing lesson 8, and we're starting in line 539. We're going to 543 in this video. We're in the middle of Ilioneus's speech still. He has explained to Dido that they're not pirates, they're not invaders, they're God-fearing Trojans, and they're on their way to Italy. And he also talked about the storm and why they've come there, that the storm drove them there. So let's continue here. Quod genus hoc hominum, quae vunctam barbara morem, permittit patria. Okay, we'll do that first part. What race of men, or humans, and then you got to add in est, is hoc, this. So our subject is genus. Hominum is a genitive. It's a genitive plural, third declension. What race of men is this? And of course, est is our main verb right there. And then he says, quae vunctam barbara morem permittit patria. He says, what, the way is an or, okay, it's an enclitic, it means it goes on the end, just like ne means a question, we means or. Another one you've probably seen is, of course, is que, which means and. Those are all enclitics, they add on to the end of a word. So, or what country so barbarous? Okay, so we got all these. Barbara goes with patria. Patria is like a fatherland, where we get our word patriotic from. Country, the fatherland, literally. What, and that's also feminine, singular. Since patria is a feminine singular nominative noun, these both have to be in feminine singular nominative form. So what country, and then Tom goes along with this too, so barbarous, and you have to put permittit, permits, allows, permits hunc morem, this custom. Now, what custom are we talking about? He's going to explain in the next sentence, but apparently the Carthaginians are doing some custom that the Trojans would consider barbarous. So he's going to explain it in the next sentence. So one more time. What race of men is this? Or what country so barbarous permits this custom? Moving along, hospitio prohibemur harenae. This is the custom, the morem here. It is we are, this is a passive, first person plural. We, the subject is nos. We are prohibited, and then from, hospitio is ablative, from the welcome or the hospitality. And what kind of hospitality? Harenai, of the sand. That's a genitive going with that. Of the sand. We are prohibited from the hospitality of the sand, the welcome of the sand, meaning a poetic way of saying we can't go ashore, we can't put our boats on the land because your people, the Carthaginians, Dido, won't let us do that. They're so barbarous that they won't let visitors come to their shores. In the ancient world, guests are usually supposed to be treated with the utmost respect because the gods look highly upon that. So it's supposed to be, in Greek and Mediterranean culture, you're supposed to be welcomed as a guest, and they're supposed to give you a gift, and you're supposed to house and shelter them. But the Carthaginians are not doing this, so this must be a barbarous place. It's not civilized. Bella cient primaque vetant consistere terra. We get some more things that fall under the barbarous custom or the barbarous country's custom here. They, you got to put in your men, like weary tui. Oops. Weary tui, or Carthaginians has to be added in here. Your men are stirring up bella, wars. It's a neuter plural from bellum. They're stirring up wars. Your men are the subject. And they deny, vetant. Think of the word veto, is when you can deny something officially in government. They deny, and you got to put in nos again here, us as a direct object. They deny us to consistere, to stand, prima, or to establish ourselves, to consistere, to stop or stand firm, is what that means. Prima terra, this is an ablative that's missing its in prima terra, on the first land. What is the first land? Well, imagine you've got the sea, right? That's supposed to be the sea. And then here you have the land. And so the first land is the shore, okay? The shoreline. It's a poetic way of saying the shoreline. So one more time. What's the customs that this barbarous country are doing? We are prohibited from the hospitality of the sand. Your men stir up wars, and they deny us the first to stand on the first land, on the shore. Si genus humanet mortalia temnitis arma, at sperate Deos, memores fand atque nefandi. The subject here is woes, you all. Woes is the subject. And the verb is temnitis. How do we know it's woes? Because you have that tis ending, and that's the second person plural ending. If, we're going to start, if, see, you despise, temnitis, if you hold in contempt, okay, temnitis, if you despise the human race, that's bad, right? If you despise the genus humanum, the human race, I know genus looks like it should be a nominative, but since it's neuter, it is not. So it has this us ending as a accusative also. It can be nominative, but here it's accusative because the subject is woes. If you despise the human race and mortalia arma, and mortal arms, arms of humans, meaning, weaponry of humans. At. Now, this is a conjunction here, and I would translate this at as yet. Usually you would translate it as but here I would translate it as yet. I think it sounds better. So here we go. If you despise the human race and mortal arms, yet sperate Deos, memores fandat nefandi. Yet sperate, this could be like hope for or expect. In this sense, I think, in the sense it's used here, I think almost fear is a good way to translate it. Fear or expect that, and this is a kind of an indirect statement here, expect that the Deos, the gods, and you got to put in esse, are, memores, are mindful. Expect the gods, literally, to be mindful of, and there's two adjectives, as far as identifies these as adjectives. I think they look like gerunds. I guess maybe they're the same thing, but he does them as adjectives. But fear that the gods are mindful of fandi and nefandi. These are genitives of what's right and of what's wrong. Remember, fas. If something is fas or fundus, it means it is right in the God's eyes. And if it's nephas, it's not right in the God's eyes. So these gods are mindful of what is right and what is wrong. Hint, hint, you should be nice to us or the gods are not going to take very kindly to it. One more time. If you despise the human race and mortal arms, yet fear that the gods are mindful of what's right and wrong. So be careful about this one here.